I'm Zachary Dishian, and this is my presentation on robotics. So, what is robotics? Well, robotics is the study of robots or machines that assist us. Some robots can operate all on their own, while others need human input. And robotics also deals with the creation of these robots. Robots are ever changing, and they consistently have three things. All robots, they have some sort of mechanical construction, some electrical parts, and some form of computer programming. Since technology is progressing forwards just every single day, robots are progressing with it. So, some examples of robots are factories, such as a car manufacturing uh, factory. NASA uses space arms to construct things in space, such as the space station. NASA also uses Moon and Mars rovers, which are robots. Robotic limbs. Some drones are flown completely using robotics. Uh, Little Roomba vacuum cleaners are robotic. And UAVs, which are used by the military as surveillance drones, those are unmanned aircrafts, completely robotic. So, programming and robotics. So, robots require at least some level of programming to operate, and each project may require a different language based on the project itself. So, there's no like definitive language for robotics. C++ and Python are very commonly used, if not the most common, but there are a multitude of other languages that can be used, and each project, it just depends on what the robot is being programmed to do. You might need to use a different language for that. So as time goes on, we are seeing Python more and more involving robots and robotics, because Python is just, it's a very widely used language, and as time goes on, people are just using it more and more. Robots operate based off of something called robot software, and robot software is basically just a set of coded commands that tell the robot what to do. It's almost like instructions. And each manufacturer has its own robot software, telling each robot to do its own thing with its own set of instructions. So, how useful is robotics? Well, the short answer is it's extremely useful and extremely important, especially as our world progresses. So, robotics can positively impact and drastically change people's lives. They raise efficiency and safety levels dramatically. Robotics allow us to process large amounts of dangerous work without us, the people, ever being in harm's way. So, an example of that could be a chemical plant dealing with an acidic material that we would never have any risk of getting in contact with that, because we could be even home operating this robot doing it for us, and then if something happens, we don't get hurt, nobody gets hurt. You know, the mistake happened and then nobody got hurt. And as long as a robot is programmed correctly and has consistent upkeep, it will never mess up. Humans make errors, computers don't, therefore robots don't. Robotics leave no room for human error because they're not human. They can act and do what humans do without being human. So, why learn robotics? It's an enjoyable career or hobby, and as technology progresses, there's an ever growing need for robotic professionals, so there's always going to be a job market. But robots are replacing real jobs that real people could be doing, such as car manufacturers. People used to put those together, and now machines are doing it. So it's better to be the one controlling the robot rather than the one losing their job to the robot. And even furthermore, it pays very well. It's an effective way to learn programming, since you can physically see what you're programming, and it's a good way to learn code and how to program. And there's always going to be a need for robotics and people to program robots for the future, more than we can even see now. So, how do you get started learning? Well, first you want to probably set some realistic goals. Start simple before you do complex machines. Read books and watch videos anytime you can. Take a course at college. Join a club at college. You learn by doing, And you could even just start simple by learning to program. So start with C++ or Python because they are very often used. And that's my presentation. Thank you.